a pure hops deck on our stream. Of course, both of these players sitting at undefeated records here in Milwaukee so far. We're going to see how these players take down this match. I'm excited to see Grant Shen once he realizes he's going against a hop deck. I wonder if he's going to have the tools needed to bring out a win against that.
Grant may have been a very young boy when Landorus EX was out and about and wreaking havoc. He's probably not faced this attack very often.
Right. Exactly, and that's always awesome to see how our fantastic pro players adapt in these kind of off-meta matchups. Of course, Brooke Wagner here on the right side. This is her 4th regional championship, Kyle.
Yeah, and a fan of Sprigatito.
Not a day
Pasta
2 yet.
cat.
Yes, the Pasta Cat. I mean, I feel like Pasta Cat people gotta believe, right?
Yeah,
There's
some believers, and we can see already a lot of hopping around. We've got the bag, the choice band, and the Snorlax there. On the other side, a couple of ways to find basic Pokemon and Pokemon themselves with the Treepy and Gimmighoul. These are manageable prize cards on both sides.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, that's always hype to see, so we can just have some nice, clean Pokemon play. Of course, I'm excited to see Brooke's strategy against Goldengo. Goldengo is one of those decks that you just have to have on your radar. I think in the online results, it's like number 3 right now in the most successful decks online. So any of those ones in like the top 5, you're definitely going to want to have a strategy to work around those in these matchups, because that's what you're going to see in these giant fields here. So both these players about to get started here. We've got the fist bump. We're rolling into our next Swiss round here in Milwaukee. Wow, look at that. The Iron Valiant EX. Okay, so we've been talking about Hops Pokemon this whole time, Kyle. Now we're seeing an Iron Valiant EX. You want to walk us through that?
I mean, you need to hop around. That's the whole deck is just moving these Pokemon around, finding the right unique attack to include at the right time. Sometimes you're looking to set up a little bit of damage to work in a big knockout in that mid stage of the game with your Hops Cramorant. And a great way to do that is by softening up these Pokemon. You've got that Iron Valiant EX, using the Tachyon bits, plenty of ways to switch around these Pokemon, and you can really manipulate the board as you choose.
Yeah, we're hopping indeed. Of course, if we can get some of those hop Pokemon out on the field, we see the Snorlax hit the bench here from Brooke. Oh, Grant's taking a read,
this is the moment we were waiting for. Does Grant know exactly what he's up against? And he's soon going to be learning. But
I'm a little scared there, Kyle.
That's the turn, though, on that side. Not much to do for Brooke, as we now see Grant with the Arven, a card that's kind of lost a little bit of its play moving into this new format. However, still a great tool to have in the Goldengo decks, using that TM evolution to start to get all of those Pokemon in play. And there's a lot to learn here as you move through the deck. There's a lot of unique cards.
Yeah, a lot of unique cards. Grant is picking up the cards on Brooke's side and reading them around. Of course, that's Snorlax on Brooke's side. Those are the only Pokemon we see from the Hops Pokemon. The extra helpings is its ability name. It's definitely been taking some of those, Kyle, I'd say so. But it's plus 30 damage. And there's other cards in Brooke's deck that also buff up your damage in this deck to the point where you can actually hit quite a lot on a free energy attachment Cramorant with the Hops Choice Band.
You've got the Hops Choice Band giving you additional attacking power, that plus 30, reducing the cost of the attack. You have Post Wick as well that adds an additional 30 damage. So plus 90, 1 energy less to attack. You're just sprinkling in so many great attackers. It's all about finding the right window, though.
Exactly. That's going to be the key here in this matchup. And playing against Grant Shen is quite the challenge it's going to be. Grant has so many phenomenal finishes, not only this season, but previous seasons before as well. Taking Goldengo to our stage here. And as we see, we already have several Gimmighoul set up from Grant Shen. Now we're going into the deck here with an Earthen Vessel, getting rid of that Ultra Ball to get some of these energy out.
Yeah, these are two decks that basically only care about their own strategy, which is a part where Grant probably feels pretty comfortable. When you're not on the back foot thinking about the removal of multiple Gimmighoul in a turn or other situations that can arise, it takes so much for Brooke to have a turn like that. Instead, you can just focus on your own setup, You have that technical machine. Now you have
beautiful.
2 Golden Go ready to roll.
Yeah, I love this technical machine. It makes this deck flow so seamlessly. We have the tool card that attaches. It brings out your benched evolutions into those Golden Go EX. All you need is that energy attachment to be able to enable it. Then it's going to discard at the end of Grant Shen's turn as well, but it has served its use. We popped in the CD. It played a banger. Now we're going over to Brooke's turn.
we do love bangers here on the channel. This worked out very well. It's a very clean turn, and now you start to consider what is Grant truly capable of on the following turn. It's likely going to be some big knockouts. You can work in a Hopzation in the early stages, try to take some knockouts, but 230 hit points is a little vulnerable.
Little vulnerable, yeah, that is the only thing with some of these big basics. They're not as big as they used to be because we have much bulkier evolution Pokemon in the format now, but especially going against Golden Go. Golden Go is essentially one of those decks that can hit a lot of damage, Kyle. You have routes around pretty much anything you're faced up against if you're Grant Shen. So Brooke is going to have a sticky time, especially after that little bit of a lackluster start that we saw. Brooke, of course, going first, just getting that Snorlax out. Now this Hops bag is going to be big here for Brooke to be able to search out 2 more of the basic Hops Pokemon and put them straight onto the bench. That's pretty nice. We want to see these Hop Pokemon. So we got Hops Cramorant and Hops Zacian as well. If you can kind of see it. I'm blind, but you can see it on board. Hop is on those cards. He's making an appearance.
Yes, very so slightly. He has taken ownership, and this is his deck to work with. Yes. But is Brooke the pilot? She's thinking about how to maneuver around this board. Can you potentially start to work on a Golden Go? The issue that we have here, Grant is playing that Monkey Dory. He has a copy of that. Any additional damage that you place on Grant's side of the board could easily be transitioned over. 230 hit points, you move 30 over. It's only a 4 energy knockout. Pretty easy for Golden Go.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big deciding factor here is Grant Shen just has the ability, as soon as he gets started, it's kind of hard to stop, but I believe in the Hops Pokemon, we'll see if they can get something done here. We see that Hops Choice Band onto that Zacian on the bench there. Of course, that Future Booster Energy Capsule on that future Pokemon in that Iron Valiant EX. That's going to give it that free retreat. Jump out of the active position. We have the Hops Zacian EX now. And we're seeing that knockout here. Grant's also reading this chart, this card. The Hops Choice Band allows the 1 less colorless energy to be attached, which gives pretty much a free attack on that insta strike from the Hops Zacian.
Yeah, pretty broken cards here on the other side. It's something you're unfamiliar with seeing, but you likely knew that the Gimmighoul would fall that turn. And now the situation comes up for Grant. He hasn't accomplished too much. He's going to start with the coin bonus, has the Cypher Maniac's code breaking in combination with the active coin bonus to find what would likely be some additional help with Energy Search Pro, but it's a knockout for this turn at least.
Yeah, that's one thing the Golden Go is able to do is draw some cards. Of course, the coin bonus in the active with the 2, the 1 on the bench for 1 additional card. Arvin helping to thin out a little bit here as well for Grant Shen. Grabbing an item card and a tool card if you have it. Yep. Of course, look, I wonder what the item card's going to be.
Just flash all the energies.
You got to show that pink card first. Energy Search Pro. This is the new build here of the Golden Go that we've been working with all season now. It searches out the rainbow of energy here from Grant Shen. He got it off the Arvin as the item card, and now all these energy are joining the hands here for Grant to play with this Golden Go EX.
Yeah, just thin your deck out of upwards of, what, 7 energies and the tool. Now you get to draw with the coin bonus, see even more resources. This hand is near 15 cards at this point, and that's just unfair for a player who's going second turn 2. Monkey Dory added to the hand as well. This could be nasty on the following turn with moving some damage.
Look at that. Yeah, the preparation for the late game here as well. Night Stretcher bringing out another Gimmighoul to just keep that pace up. We do have to see an energy on this side of the field, though. It's only 1, though. That's what makes Golden Go so good. This Make It Rain, it's just 1 metal energy, and then each of your energy cards that you discard from your hand are 50 damage per, and that is enough to take down that Hops Zacian. It's in the discard pile. That's 2 prize cards there for Grant Shen.
Well, you said that the CD was playing some bangers. Do you think that we're going to be spitting over here with the rap god Cramorant potentially.
Why is Cramorant always spitting, yo?
It's what it likes to do.
Disrespectful. Yes, the Cramorant. Hops Cramorant, of course. They like to make really good Cramorant cards, I've noticed. The Fickle Spitting here, it's 120 damage. It's pretty much free if you have the Hops Choice Band, but you can only use it at certain times when your opponent has either 3 or 4 prize cards. Of course, Brooke here sending up that Iron Valiant EX, putting some damage counters out now that it's being brought into the active position with that Tachyon Bits. It's 2 damage counters onto that Golden Go. That's going to add to the damage counters needed for Brooke to put some of this math together and start taking out some Pokemon on Grant's side.
Yep, we've got Snorlax with the inclusion of 30. Postwick for 30 more. It is just a choice band away. Hop's choice band to get the job done with Cramorant.
I don't see it, though.
See it.
We
have the one in the prize cards, and we've seen one earlier, too. What's the count?
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
It looks like 4, so it's maxed out, but unfortunately gonna miss.
I mean, it's pretty important,
on
I
that
guess.
Shot there.
Ah, that is such a bummer. We saw the spit, but I guess it wasn't disrespectful enough on that Golden Go. It's staying alive. 30 HP left in the active position there from Grant Shen, which is dangerous here for Brooke. I mean, that's just allowing Grant to essentially run away with another turn here. We're going to see 1 billion cards being drawn into. One already off of that first coin bonus into another Golden Go EX for another golden coin bonus, but just another Golden Go.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Grant's got options here. He could try to focus on just continuing to take knockouts, or there were plans where maybe he tries to include the Professor Turos in a spot like this. He's got a ton of damage on his active Pokemon. If he used all of his coin bonuses and then Pokegeared, he might be able to thin out to a point where maybe you find that one-of copy, but gonna play a little safer here now. Go with the Cypher Maniac's code breaking and set up some resources for a game that he's in control of right now.
Right. I like being more in control, Kyle. That's exactly what Grant is doing here. Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking fits perfectly into this deck. You get 2 cards, you line them up at the top of your deck, and then you see that active Golden Go EX is able to draw into those 2 cards from the coin bonus. We see the Artisan jump into play immediately, get a Monkey Dory out. We're going to start shifting around some damage counters now back onto Brooke's side, so the pressure is on here, Kyle.
Yeah, move yourself out of range of the Hopzachian, taking a knockout on the Golden Go if it were to go to the bench, and also you avoid some of the shenanigans with multiple Tachyon Bits. It's just a really clean play here. You have an opportunity to take advantage of the fact that you already have the energy to attack with in play. This is a great turn to play the Dark Energy.
Yeah, beautiful. We see it, of course, with that superior energy retrieval. You got to discard 2 cards, but then you get 4 basic energy into your hand, which is beautiful in this deck. You use them for the discard for your damage. And then, of course, that Monkey Dory, gaining that dark attachment for the Adrenabrain, moving that damage onto Brooke's side, healing up that Golden Go EX that has so much damage in the active, but now it's survived and it's a little healthier. Look at that. Knockout on that Hops Cramorant. That's going to be a single prize card, but it is a good one, I must say, because that Hops Cramorant can get so dangerous from Brooke's side. That was the liability, the attack, taking it out. Brooke needs some answers here.
Yeah, and with, 5 cards in hand, not a lot of resources. There is the Artisan to help find some more basic Pokemon, but
True.
The lifeline of this deck has to be finding all of those Hops Choice Bands, and we're just not seeing them right now.
Need damage. We need it quick. Ooh, we're going to see that Iron Bundle of Joy joining the field here. The cutest artwork as well from that Artisan. Of course, doesn't have that rule box joining the field. We have Techno Radar from Brooke.
Yeah, this is a count to see how low can I get my hand so that maybe I can draw back up with the Mew. It's not great. It's maybe down to 1 or 2 cards remaining, but you're still just relying on the top deck at that point, maybe to find a relevant supporter this turn.
Yeah, this is tough here. Brooke bringing out this Iron Valiant, yeah, thinning down those cards from the hand.
You can see the lines,
and
though.
The deck.
You have multiple Tachyon Bits in play now. You can put 20 damage onto the Golden Go, switch again, another 20. If you work in the Hopzachian as the last slot of your bench, you can take a knockout on this Pokemon while it's on the bench by way of using the Iron Bundle. So there's a way to really add up the damage on this side, but you need a lot of help here from you.
Yes, yeah, Mew, can you save the day here? Postwick, of course, being the stadium bump for the turn after Brooke was able to utilize the Artisan here. Now we have another Iron Valiant. We have the switch here into that first Tachyon Bits. 2 damage counters going on to the Golden Go EX.
Research is pretty good.
We tossing? Are we tossing here? Of course, that future booster energy capsule on the other future Pokemon here, giving it free retreats. We use the switch for the first switch, so we still have that retreat. We do see the research. This is a fresh 7 cards here for Brooke. It's going to be the 7 that we need, Kyle, to wrap this game up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the switch is already the first card in the window. Now just looking for the Hop Zacian and a way to attack to really start to use all of these abilities to your best advantage. Also, you have the Cramorant still. As long as you attack with that Pokemon into not Monkey Dory or this damaged Golden Go, you feel comfortable.
Oh,
but I don't know if you're going to see that.
We're seeing the bundle. Yeah, what are we going to see, Kyle?
I mean,
Let's see.
It's tough because the Monkey Dory is so helpful in moving the damage around and manipulating this. But that odd prize exchange, it doesn't really work here, as we've already seen the single prize taken on Brooke's side. So you might as well send up the high hit points.
It's awkward. It's awkward for sure. Well, we saw the bundle. Of course, Grant gets to choose which Pokemon is activated from that Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle going to the discard pile. So that healthy Golden Go EX in the active position. That opened up a bench spot here now for Brooke to bring out that Zacian EX that we've been waiting for from the nest ball here for Brooke.
Yeah, you almost have to make sure that you take advantage of the fact that Cramorant's online this turn. If you can use this Pokemon, you have to. It's so much damage to include. The problem is, you're walking into a likely Turo in some form or another. If that happens, it's game ending.
Yeah, we haven't even seen one yet. It was the Cypher Maniac in the last turn here. We're seeing some more Tachyon Bits. As you said, Kyle, this is our second one now. 40 damage being placed from damage counters from these Iron Valiants. But yeah, like you said, I mean, you can only use that Cramorant when your opponent is at 3 or 4 prize cards. So this is the time here, but it's going to be the prime catcher, the Hop Zacian, coming up, and the Monkey on the other side. Here's the choice band.
Yeah, I really like this. This is a great way to start to work on finding a closeout in this spot. You're taking 3 prize cards at this point. Remove the Monkey Dory and the damaged Golden Go. Just finding a way to close out here would be so tricky. There are some plays for Grant, however. He's got some really unique inclusions in this list. If we see the Jamming Tower this turn, that could be backbreaking.
Oh my gosh, I loved that there. All the damage. We had the Hops Choice Band, we had the Postwick, we had the Snorlax buffing up here, taking out that Monkey Dory and getting the Golden Go EX just in range. 3 prize cards for Brooke Wagner. That was incredible to see. Grant Shen here starting us off though with a Pokegear. Got to see a supporter from the 7. We saw 2. Wasn't the, or was the Cypher Maniacs or the Boss's Orders?
Yeah, we see the Cypher Maniac. We also see Iono in the hand as well. If you feel like your opponent's at a point that you could really disrupt them, you could go for a spot like that. But unfortunately, you only have 3 cards in hand. You have to kind of focus on your setup at this point. And with, only 1 more coin bonus, it's just Cypher Maniac.
Oof, Cypher Maniac here. We've already used the benched coin bonus. We still have 2 additional draws. That's going to give us those cards that Grant puts at the top of the deck from some code-breaking action. See the Earthen Vessel being brought to the top here from Grant. Get some energy. I mean, what is our hand looking like here from Grant? I mean, just a bunch of supporters?
There's the Metal Energy, there's the Iono, there's a few other resources. Pheasantipity, which seems like a liability at this point.
Yeah, scary.
You want to work with as many hit points as you can.
It's a little weak sauce.
It's tough.
Draws you cards, but it's not enough HP. Especially now, Brooke has totally turned the tables. I mean, Brooke's leading now in the prize race here. Grant has to make something work for this turn and just hope Brooke can't put it together in the last half of this game.
Yeah, a lot of cards in Brooke's hands. 7 cards, and then you're going to draw as well. We see Supporter there. We see Nest Ball. Plenty of ways to find an additional attacker and
we don't see any disruption there from Grant because that Cypher Maniac's code breaking was the supporter played. So now Brooke's working with whatever she's got there in the hand, which is quite a lot. Of course, those cards being drawn into. now from Grant Shen's side, counting up how many energy are in the discard pile so far here. Earthen Vessel is just going to be discarding away this Iono here for Grant to get out some more energy from the deck.
Really nice understanding here from Grant. Any turn that you would have played Iono is also a turn where Boss's Orders will win the game next turn, so completely irrelevant card. Throw that away, find some additional energies, use that superior energy retrieval, and you will have the 5 energies required to take a knockout here. Go down to 1 prize card remaining, and then just hope that 260 hit points is enough to withstand what Brooke's capable of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to add some damage. Grant Shen putting it out on the line here against this Hop deck. Still going with this turn. We have the superior energy retrieval, just choosing which cards to discard to. It has to be 2. One's going to be that Pheasantipity that we said is a huge liability there. I think that's what that one was. And then a Psychic Energy to get back 4 from the discard pile to the hand. We have the energy attachment to the Golden Go. Enough energy cards to get a knockout on that second Hop Zacian EX being taken down. Grant Shen down to just 1 prize card left. But is Brooke able to put things together?
You got to look in the sky and see if it's sunny or if the moon's out. And I'm seeing the blood moon. It's going to get dangerous in this spot.
Bits. There's the 20 Tachyon Bits. The blood moon hitting for 240 damage. That's 260, Kyle. Perfect math here for Brooke Wagner, taking things down in our game 1 between these players.
Lined up so well. Just Grant did not have the play around at that point. Wanted to manipulate the hand, but would not have the resources to take the knockout. It's just a lot to ask, and there's a lot of hopping going around. It worked out really well in this opening game.
I don't like that, Kyle. I don't like that. Grant fell into the bear trap. Not the bear trap. No, Grant Shen. All right, we got to pick
the light
things
of the
up.
moon to guide him, and it didn't work.
No, it did not work.
Still walked right into it.
Yeah, we need to see, maybe this time around, Grant can adjust. Now, we've played 1 game, we've gotten it out, you know. Let's see how that matchup went there.
Only 8 basic Pokemon in the deck. This is a pretty reasonable thing to happen.
It ain't no 23.
All right, you know what? He found a pretty solid hand. It only took 5 attempts.
Let's go. Would you trade a really good hand for 4 mulligans, though? I don't know.
Not in a deck that plays 1 Iono.
Yeah, for real.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get punished on the other side.
Oh, no. Look at that. Oh, well, Brooke is going to be starting with that Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, which is a little bit awkward there. Like we said, we saw it come out right at the end of the game. That's kind of when you want to see it. Don't really want to start with it because it can be kind of a liability for you, and it's pretty beefy to retreat as well. But not if you have easier ways to retreat. Of course, there are a lot of switch out cards for Brooke on that side of the field. So we're starting over here. Once again, the first turn being over to Brooke. Let's take a look at the prize cards here. We've got a couple of hot Pokemon sitting at the top there in a Zacian EX, as well as a Snorlax. Iron Bundle that we saw just kind of come out of the deck last time in the prize cards. One of those switch cards. Jet Energy as well, some switching mechanics, and a Pokegear.
Yeah, I feel like we could. The Iron Bundle is pretty relevant when you see the Monkey Dory start in a spot like this.
That's true.
A lot of hit points in the active. It's a single prize that's given up on the second turn, but it might not even be available. And it's also a gimme ghoul that gets to stick around for an additional turn. So this might actually work out really well for Grant.
I was thinking the same because the Zacian EX is a 2 of, and the Snorlax is also a 2 of. So that means there's only 1 per the deck here for Brooke. And those are at the very top of the prize cards as well, so we're not going to see them for pretty much the entirety of the game here. So Brooke is going to get out those 1 copies there. The Snorlax on the bench, the Hops Zacian EX on the bench as well as the Cramorant. So all the Hops gang is here. He's hopping in and hopping out. Of course, Grant, like you said, Kyle, had a pretty stellar starting hand from what we saw.
Yeah, it looked great. We saw the Arvin, we saw the energy. I think the TM evolution was already there. So
yeah, we got a Surfer in the hand over there.
2 Golden Go.
Yo, here we go. One of those Jet Energy. Whee! Into the active position here. Iron Valiant EX jumping in, putting those 2 damage counters on to Grant Shen's field. I mean, that's just an immediate pressure here. Arvin is going to be the play here from Grant, allowing you to get the item and the tool card out. And a pretty important item here if you don't have any Pokemon out. Buddy Poffin to get some gimme ghouls. We have, of course, that tool card that we saw in the Technical Machine Evolution to get out those Golden Go immediately. What are the prize cards looking like, though?
Yeah, it's the one that really shines at me is that jamming tower. It's unfortunate we did not see that in the opening game.
Oh,
But
that'd be so good.
think about the limited potential there is for Brooke to complete a really solid turn if you don't have access to any of your tools. Now, of course, there's plenty of stadiums on the other side. 4 Postwick to counter this stadium. But if you combo that with an Iono or a low hand size at the right time, you might be able to have that jamming tower stick and your opponent's just shut down.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, not only bumping the stadium, getting rid of that damage, but then turning off the Hop's Choice Bands. So crucial. Jamming Tower is a huge tech for a lot of decks in our field here in Milwaukee, but unfortunately, it's stuck in the prize cards for Grant Shen. Of course, we are going to get those Gimme Ghoul out from the Buddy Buddy Poffin. They're eating good today. Popped out of their little treasure chests for some Poffins. And we have that Technical Machine Evolution. That was the tool grab. As long as we have the energy to go with, we're going to be evolving here, Kyle.
Yep, it's in hands, and this 20 damage could prove to be pretty relevant at this spot. And we talked about how difficult it is to hit the right numbers, but now one less amplifier is required to take a knockout here. Hop Zacian dealing 30, Snorlax with an additional 30. Now you just need basic energy or that basic energy or whatever, any energy to go along with the stadium or the choice band itself to get the knockout here with the Zacian.
Kyle's saying math.
Check it. Pull out your calculator.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely one of the decks that you're going to do that with. There's so many ways to buff up your damage here from Brooke's side. And then you got the Tachyon bits flying around the board as well here. Brooke finding that Iono there on the Pokegear 3.0. Getting that supporter into the hands. Is that going to be supporter played, though? Was the hand looking kind of lame? I mean, we had 4 mulligans. That helped us out quite a bit there in the initial hand.
Yeah, you would expect a lot more from an opening hand, but I mean, this is the main turn here. This is the first turn that an attack is available for Brooke, and she's going to try to find the right pieces. It looks like there is a switch in hand, so maybe you could include another Tachyon bits if you have access to that, but Postwick, Snorlax, Zacian, it's knocking on the door.
Them hops are hopping 30 additional damage. Of course, that extra helpings of the 30 from the Snorlax for the Hopperonis. They're just going here.
I've never had Hopperoni. I've heard it's great.
I prefer extra Hopperonis, actually. Extra helpings to the Hopperonis. Yeah, that's Snorlax. I mean, I love to see this. This is the first time we've really gotten to make the Hops deck shine here, and it is working quite well for Brooke. We see that switch card activating the second Tachyon bits, or I guess the first Tachyon bits here for Brooke.
The mind games of finding the non-foil Iono and playing the foil Iono.
Oh,
Brooke is in his head.
Keeping you on your toes, Grant Shen. That full art, baby. That means both of our players shuffle up their hands. They're going to draw for each of their prize cards. They're both even at 6, so this is new hands for everybody.
Future booster and the choice band to go along with this. We are hopping into the active spot. That's a big knockout.
The free retreat from the future booster energy capsule into that Hops Zacian. Doesn't even need an energy. It just strapped on a cool headband, and now it's swinging, knocking out that Monkey Dory. That's the initial prize card that we see. That was so pivotal for Brooke in the last game that we saw. That single prize card helped so much in the game if you can line up the math and take multiple prize card knockouts in the future. And we still have just a baby Gimme Ghoul. Oh, well, there's a Golden Go EX.
I was worried. I was getting worried, though. But Coin Bonus helping out there, finds that third copy of the Golden Go. So you have all your evolutions at this point. You can play the 7-prize game. You've got a knockout probably lined up at this point, but you got to be worried about the spitting on the other side. So much damage can be compiled early. Yeah,
listen, Grant, I need you to focus up here, all right? We need to get this done here. We've got the Golden Go EXs. Of course, they are already damaged. It's going to be the Pheasantipity EX joining the field this time around. We didn't see it in the last game. It was just discarded, but now is it going to have more utility for Grant to be able to line up some cards after flipping the script?
I mean, this is arguably one of the scarier turns to play this. You know that you could walk right into Prime Catcher Cramorant. Easy knockout at that point. Dealing 210 damage is so simple for this Pokemon.
Easy bear traps later. Wait, we got Turo. We're fine.
Sure.
We're okay.
Go ahead. Waste your supporter for the turn. It always works out.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared here. We're seeing the Cypher Maniacs code breaking. Grant Shen gonna line up some cards. You know, the big pink one's pretty nice, I would say, to go to the top, as well as the boss's orders being put at the top. Of course, supporter already played here, but boss's orders for the future turns for Grant Shen gonna be drawn off of some coin bonusing if we have it. Or sorry, flip the script. As well can draw those cards nice and easy.
Yeah, for Grant, his game plan's pretty clear at this point. Once you've decided to go that route of the Pheasantipity, you're just trying to establish the biggest hand possible and take 3 consistent knockouts back to
go fast.
If you can do just that, your opponent needs to have Iono to counter whatever you're building up in your hand. You saw her play the full art one instead of the regular one.
Right.
You know another one's at the bottom of the deck at this point. You have a pretty good chance of holding on to this hand next turn.
So we also saw the boss go to the hand from Grant Shen, Kyle. Do you think maybe switching up the targets is going to be good here for Grant as well? Is that going to come into play as for what he targets down?
I mean, as long as it says EX when you knock it out, I'm pretty comfortable with whatever he targets at this point.
2 prize cards were chilling.
It's all you need to focus on. You have a knockout here lined up, you use the boss's orders on the next turn, and then you're just looking for one more answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even possible that you'll have that EX in the active going into that turn, because Brooke doesn't have many answers other than Cramorant, and you don't use Cramorant on those outside of the middle turns.
Yep, it can only be used on those 3-4 prize card turns from your opponent's side of the field. Definitely could come into play. Well, that's the first EX down here. The Golden goes swinging into that Hop Zacian, taking it out nice and easy with those energies discarded, of course, from that Energy Search Pro, helping all that damage be accumulated into the hand. Brooke starting off Tachyon Bits, one of the Iron Valiants with the free retreat from the Future Booster Capsule in the active. We see the Pokegear getting an Arven out here for Brooke as well.
Yeah, Arven's pretty great. You find Switch and a Hop's Choice Band once more. You have access to attacking with your Cramorant on this turn. Double Tachyon Bits included with dealing 180 damage right now with the Cramorant. You're starting to get closer to some really relevant points.
Relevant points from the Spittin', that's for sure. I'll also note, too, remember that's our only Hop Zacian. The other one's in the prize cards as well.
This is also a good spot here. As looks like maybe the A-Spec will be the choice here, and then you can target down that Pheasantipity. We mentioned it earlier. It's a bit of a liability, and if you can knock that Pokemon out, take 2 prizes at this spot, you'll have access to the Blood Moon for the rest of the game at least.
Yeah, you said it, Kyle. That was the risky turn to play that Fez down, get those cards to the hand there. Grant had to do it to line up that A-Spec to the hand. So Pheasantipity was played. Will it be what takes Grant Shen down? We will have to see if that's how this ends up going. But Brooke already chucking down that energy onto the Iron Valiant, or the Future Booster Capsule?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was like, why is it not moving? And Cram's going to get a Hop's Choice Band as well. What we were looking for here, Kyle, just some additional damage, you know. That's pretty nice.
It's starting to line up over here for some knockouts.
I mean, the fact the base damage is 120 on that Cram is just gross.
Cramorants have done some pretty just things in the TCG, and it has not been a lot of longevity either. It's just it just came out firing.
Yeah, every time. It's all the time here. Look at that. So much damage being done here. Of course, does have the Hop's Choice Band, does have the Snorlax, didn't have the Post-Wick that time around. So Golden Go EX hanging on by 80 HP in the active position here for Grant Shen. Now, is this where the intricate plays come in as far as choices here for Grant? Kyle, what do you think? This is a huge hand.
Yeah, and this is what he's been lining up this entire game. He's just trying to find opportunity to have all the energies in hand and the boss's orders. You continue to target down some EX Pokemon, and you don't have to worry about these cheeky setups that can potentially happen with the Golden Go and the damage on it. Double Tachyon Bits and Hop Zacian is still 10 short of a knockout on this Golden Go on the bench.
Ooh.
So you feel pretty comfortable there. You can go down to 2 prizes left, and I feel like you'll find the answer there unless it's Iono and a lot of mischief.
A lot of mischief, yeah. Also finding the answers in these energy cards coming into the hand, boosting up that damage from the making it rain here, Golden Go EX, of course, with that superior energy retrieval. That Easy discard there, as well as another Golden Go EX. We're seeing an energy come down for the turn here onto that bench Golden Go EX as well. This is the boss turn here, Kyle. It's the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX coming into the active position. What took Grant down in the last game is he's ain't fallen into the bear trap this time.
Look who's been trapped.
He's trapping the bear, putting that in the discard pile. 2 additional prize cards here for Grant. He's at 2 prize cards now. Cramorant, you can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, but we still have, of course, that Iron Valiant EX in the active position, but that's it, Kyle.
Yep.
Yes.
It looked so good for Grant. Not only the prize lead, but also in hand, jamming tower plus Iono. If you find boss's orders, you can close out the game. So many ways to stay atop in this game 2 here. We are set for a pretty great game 3 in this match. It has been a wild one.
Oh, hop into our stream. Kyle, what do you think about it so far? What do you think about this matchup specifically, as far as like on paper?
I feel like this is a very winnable match. The math lines up fairly well. 260 is kind of tricky, but if you set up early enough with the Tachyon bits, with the Hop Zacian, you can have 1 turn of that isn't challenged immediately by Golden Go. You win. The problem is Golden Go is always going to set up that turn 2 knockout, and we see once more that potential is on the table. Grant has a pretty great start. He's got a pink card in hand. He can do a lot of cool things.
I mean, yeah, let's think about that. There's so many decks in our format right now that draw cards. They draw a lot of cards in a lot of different ways. Brooke is essentially relying on the hops cards in this deck, like the hops bag to bring the Pokemon out, the choice band to buff up as well, and there's not just like, oh, free cards being drawn everywhere. So it can get kind of awkward and clunky potentially for Brooke.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Hey, now.
Grant.
I'm an all-star. We're in trouble.
Oh, no. The Dreepy starts. Like we said, we hadn't seen that Dragapult line being played in either of the games. Now it's going to be a forceful play here. Dreepy starting off, just getting an energy attachment.
He's got such a good hand if he's able to play it. Arven to follow along with it.
I'm
but
scared.
The Snorlax is playing. The Arven is there. There's also the Jet energy to move the Zacian into the active spot. This is just game right here. It's over.
Getting rid of that energy need from Brooke's side and taking the knockout on that lone Dreepy. Brooke Wagner winning in game 3 in less than a minute here. I cannot believe it, Kyle.
I was so ready for a great game 3. And you know what? That also works.